Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Hi, Alex and Wolfie, Punksy. Thanks for hopping over here after Alex's live stream. I really appreciate it. And Pink Dahlia, Delana. Hello, everyone. Um, CDT is actually going to be joining me. It was kind of spur of the moment. And yeah, so she'll be here in a little bit. What I have kind of lined up is going to be a few things. I think I'll start off comparing. There's like a rumor, I don't know if anyone in chat has heard, um, that the truck video of Summer in the back seat, when you hear Candace ask the person if they took the picture or not, if they got it in time or whatever, you hear like someone else's voice say no. And so a lot of people are wondering if that in fact is grandma, because Candace pretty much told everyone that it was grandma, but then people are starting to say that it sounds like Allie's voice. So just looking at chat, Happy New Year, Rosie and Deco. Thank you for being here. And let me just share my screen. So did anyone hear that people were debating if that was Allie or the grandmother? It was sort of something that I had seen going around recently. Hi, Original Elements. So I figured since I had taken the video from the original source, which was unmasked, and I turned up the volume, you might be able to hear it a little bit better. And I'm reading chat. I have not heard that. Someone else said, doesn't sound like grandma to me. I never even thought to question it, Alex, until somebody said something about it in like the comments of my video. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, that did kind of sound like Allie. Rosie said, Amber, it sounds like Allie to me. Grandis has a gruff voice. Yeah. And I figured that I would just play what audio we do have of Grandis's voice and a little bit of Allie's interview and see if we can compare it. But it's going to be hard because you only hear like one word. But hi, Karen. It does sound like a younger voice. Does Grandis smoke cigarettes? Because the voice, I don't know. You would think that an older smoker's woman voice wouldn't sound as quote young, like we're saying. Reading chat. Yes, she does smoke. Okay. Yeah, somebody Rosie said some have thought it was H, but sounds feminine to me. I would definitely classify as a female voice. Let's just play it a few times. So bear with me. I'm really gonna drill the voice in our head like over and over. And then I'll hop to grandmother's interview of her talking about Rose Bly, and then we'll go to Allie's interview, and kind of in between I'll reshare this truck video. So turn your volume up and all that because I'm about to play it.
She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch.
So far, how are we feeling? Wolfie said that's not Allie. So you think it's the grandmother? I don't think it sounds like.
She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch.
Reading chat, sorry. I don't think it sounds like Grandis or Allie. Interesting. Sounds like a way younger voice to me. My heart to yours says. Sounds younger, like a younger woman, sugar aunt. Yeah, it does to me. I never even thought. Deco says not Allie. So if it's not Allie, is it Grandis? Okay, Wolfie says Grandis. Delana, in my opinion, that does not sound like Grandis. It doesn't sound like Grandis to me either. There's no way Grandma sounds younger than Candace. Yeah. No, a younger person. You are my sunshine said. I don't think it's either, Punksy said. Whoa. Pink Dahlia, that does sound younger. Candace sounds gruffer. And Grandis, too. Listen to the other video, trust me. It's neither. Listen to the other video, trust me. It's so short, right? I mean, all they're saying is no. But that's not Grandis, Ray Bird said. It does sound like a younger voice, Nikki said. People are saying H, which I never even thought would be a possibility. Hold on, I'm going to keep playing it. Hold on.
She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch.
At this moment, before listening to, yeah, Delana said definitely younger voice, in my opinion. Before listening to the other voices, at this moment, I feel like it's not Grandis. I'm leaning towards Allie. But now that people are saying H, I mean, he's very young. His voice is not that deep. I've never even thought that would be a possibility. Can't tell he didn't yawn, LOL, right? It's a skinny girl, April said. That's not Hunter, they said. Okay, hold on. Let me hop to another screen. Okay, so this isn't the whole interview. This is sort of like a snippet of Grandis's interview about her daughter, Rose Bly, who's missing and still missing. So we'll play her while keeping in our heads the voice we just listened to.
It's not a good feeling. It's just
I wish I knew where she was.
We hope people share the story. We hope people start talking again about.
Office interviewed Bly's mother in a short video distributed to followers on social media.
It's not a good feeling. It's just, I wish I knew where she was.
We hope people share the story. We hope people start talking.
I wish I knew where she was.
We hope people.
Social media.
It's not a good feeling. It's just, I wish I knew where she was.
We hope people share the story. We hope people.
Yeah, see, Deco is saying same voice in my opinion. Now I'm like re-listening and I could see how it is the same voice. I'm like going back and forth so much. Hi, Seth. I'm going back and forth. Vicky said in the unmasked interview, Allie usually say nope instead of just no. That's a good point. Hi, Kelly searches for answers. Kelly searches for answers has uploaded, if anyone's interested in Watt's material, she's uploaded some stuff there. So just a fan says it's Crandus. So you think it's Grandis?
Followers on social media.
It's not a good feeling. It's just, I wish I knew where she was.
We hope people share.
No,
Oh, that's what I was trying.
no,
Oh, that's what I was trying to get at. She still got her arm up?
no.
Oh, that's what I was trying to get at.
I don't know. Honestly, hearing it again, the no, I don't think it is the grandma. I keep going back and forth. Oh my gosh. Amber, listen to one clip I sent to Allie. Really shows. Oh, hold on, Wolfie. I'll check my chat. I don't know. I cannot decide. I'm really torn. Hold on. Now I can play Allie. And if you guys are thinking it sounded like the grandmother and there's no, conspiracy here, press 1. If you think that it maybe might not be the grandmother, press 2 while I pull up the screen and share something else. What? So, hold on, just sharing, trying to find a part where I can get Allie's voice.
At one
Actually, Okay, sorry. I didn't have, thanks for bearing with me. I didn't have a minute mark, so I'm just kind of winging it by sharing a video that I clipped of Allie's body language, but it's H's interview, but you can still hear Allie talk here. So hold on.
Okay. Well, they're just trying to line up your story. I understand that. And that's important, right? I mean, you know that. They're going to connect all those dots.
To them again that night.
Well, it's some funny crap how they tell me I'm not dissing them. I'm just saying how they tell me that I'm gonna get my phone that Monday afternoon, and it's been almost 2 months straight now.
Okay. Okay. Well, they're just trying to line up your story.
I understand that.
And that's important, right? I mean, you know that. They're going to connect all those dots. And that's the right thing to do, right? Would you agree with that? And so as a result of that, they're going to hold on to that phone and they're going to connect all those dots. And that's the right thing to do, right? Would you agree with that? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that said, now, she contacts you again, says she's at the police station, has to take another polygraph.
Come back. Right now, that's someone's missing.
Had the milk.
See, making stuff up. I just
And where do you put the milk?
I set them in the middle because someone had to. Did she?
Let me just pull up CDT's video real quick of the interview with Allie. Thank you for bearing with me. And again, CDT is joining us when she can, which will be soon. So the majority, it seems so far, just looking to see what people were saying, if they thought it was her. Oh, sorry, CDT. She said, can you resend me the link? My bad. Hold on. Still pulling something up. Sorry, guys. Hang on, CDT. Be right there.
The back seat of the
Summer in the car at that time?
yes, Summer was in the back seat of the truck, and she
Was there
sleeping.
milk also in the back seat?
Yep, the 2 gallons of milk were side by side, and she was leaning up against them. And I was asking Candace questions like, "Oh, she must be tired out. She must be pooped. Must have had a long day." Because usually, if she heard my voice, she would wake up and she'd run out of the truck. So I kept peeking my head around Candace because the back window was rolled up. She finally rolled the window down. I said, "Oh, I just want to open the door. I want to touch her. I want to give her a hug, you know." She goes, "No, we have to get the groceries home."
Okay.
The TikTok video stop and home here with Hunter in the car, that would have been kind of.
So we got to hear her voice a little bit, Allie's. And then we can just go back to the truck one, hear it again. And I almost feel like it sounds more like grandma than Allie now. So I feel like it is grandmother at this moment in that video. Okay, I'm just going to try and send CDT the link, and then we're going to get into looking at the interview room's interview breakdown that he did on Candus. So it's not his interview with Candus, it's his like reacting to his time with Candus. So let me pull that up and then figure out the link. Okay, yeah. So it's
I believe it.
Chris McDonough interview room. It's titled "What Does Candace Know About Summerwell's Disappearance?" And he kind of just gives his take as he discusses certain aspects. So I'm just gonna skip to the good part and then figure out how to send the link again to CDT while you guys look, and then we can react to. And thank you again for being here, everyone. Hey, Marshall Dove.
Yeah, she did Paw Patrol. What else? Princesses.
Ponies, and she loved Frozen. Then she started with they're little animals, but I'm not sure what they are. And they got
Stop it right there. Does anybody know what? Does anybody know what those little animals are? Right, put it in the chat here. If these little animals that have really big eyes, I've heard different things. Let's see here. All right, keep playing it. And if somebody knows, LOL dolls. Okay, I see a couple of those. Okay, go ahead, Joe.
I remember what the name of them are. I got a couple on my window.
Are they like little? They got like the big eyes, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Tiny beanie
eyes.
baby.
She likes bracelets and jewelry, and
LOL
she's
pets.
just a
Thanks for the
round
show.
girl.
Yeah, yeah. So let's take me back to that day when y'all were here swimming.
Okay.
You okay with that? Okay. So let's walk me down. Is this where you parked?
Yeah, this is where I park.
Hey, CDT.
Hello. How are you? How is everyone in chat?
Siri answering for you. CDT, not Siri. Oh my gosh.
Hi, Siri.
So yeah, sorry it took me a minute to link it to you. I was like getting all frazzled at the same time the link wasn't working.
Yeah, no worries. We got it.
Thank you, Punksy, for joining. Thank you for being a member. So far, CDT, we've just been kind of playing around with the theory that the person who says no in the truck video might not be grandma. Mm-hmm. And while I thought it was an interesting thing to kind of look at, now that I've kind of compared the voices subtly and quickly, I just feel like it sounded more like grandmother than Allie, but maybe it's possible it's not either. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I just can't. It's so quick and short, I can't really tell. But I lean towards it being grandma.
Yeah. And somebody in chat, April, saying it's Robin.
I mean, nothing honestly in this case would surprise me. I think
Yeah.
everybody is a little bit shady. I think everyone has kind of lied, held back information. When I say everyone, I mean the main people that had been interviewed by Chris McDonough.
Yeah, for whatever reason, everyone is protecting themselves, and we don't know the motives behind a lot.
Right.
So this all was just super interesting when the interview room was airing this stuff live. And now that it's been 6 months, and the fact that he won't go on my channel and talk to me about his experience, I figure we'll just insert him this way
Yeah.
and use fair use and comment on him commenting on his experience interviewing Candus. Because it's
Yeah.
been a while, and it was actually really interesting when I started going through it, and I figured, it'd be nice to have you on as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I haven't watched this in a long time. I don't even know that I've watched Chris's reaction all the way through. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching it with you and chat and, yeah, reacting and seeing what we think.
Yeah, and his show was quite long, so I don't expect to kind of get through it all. Maybe we will, but either way, it would be fun to just do it through part 1 or part 2 or whatever we have to do. So I'll just start playing it, and then I know we'll be pausing it and talking, and feel free to interrupt and let me know when to pause it.
Right. Sounds good.
I work here all the time.
All the time. And now, do you come here a lot?
I used to come here a lot. Yeah.
And you bring the kids here?
I bring the kids here all the time, and they either
Thank
fish
you.
or swim,
Okay.
whichever.
Right.
It's,
Pops.
there's nobody down here hardly.
Right.
Okay, let's
it's away
stop
from-
for a
I
second.
don't like.
And thank you, everybody, for jumping in there. But this is a good example of how investigations go. Okay. We probably just had 5 or 6 examples of what she could be talking about. Okay. And we just got another one, Little Pet Shop. Okay. So this is why it's really good as a true crime community that we kind of keep an open mind because we don't know. Okay. She doesn't remember what they were, but I'll show you some of them tomorrow in the.
So before he even gets to finish his thought, I'll just chime in real quick. She just pretty much said nobody ever comes down here. So if we're just going to pick apart just for the sake of picking apart, then that would mean, very convenient in case illegal activity or whatever was going on, or whatever. Let's say theoretically they were hiding what they were doing there, or didn't want people to see, like if underage people were drinking, whatever. Candus has just offered up the fact that, nobody goes down there.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the fact that she knows that, it's like, was that spot chosen that day on purpose? Like you said, if there was any illegal activity, they didn't want people to know. That's very likely that could be what, one of the reasons they chose going where they went.
Right. And how convenient, they chose that place and nobody goes down there.
Yeah.
So thank you, Seth, for the super chat, and Happy New Year. And I really appreciate you wishing the baby truth seeker a Happy New Year also. So I don't know. Let me just.
The video. Okay. And so let's see, if it was speculation or, guarantee here. So keep going, Dale. And thank you for your answers.
Have the kids around a bunch of other kids because of all the sickness and stuff that's been going around, different kids and stuff like that.
Yep.
So this was more secluded, private kind of thing, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. That makes
I'm
sense.
more of a quiet kind of person. I don't like to be in a big crowd.
Yeah.
I tend to stick to myself and my family, and that's it.
Yeah. And when you guys got here, who was with you? There's a lot of rumors
Real
about.
quick, can I say something?
Yep.
And my daughter.
Yep.
Summer.
It's interesting how, again, everything that these, that Allie has said, Candus has said, you just have to take it, process it, and decide what you believe. But it's interesting to me to hear Candus saying she's a quiet person. She likes to keep to herself, this and that. where Allie said she would pick up strangers and bring them up to the house and, allowed Jose and those like 14 other people or whatever to stay at the house. So again, just interesting to hear Candus saying she's one way and then Allie's kind of acting like, oh, she would pick up people, stop and talk to people, this and that. So again, which one do you believe? But I just stood out to me.
Right. And even without even, I mean, Candus herself has had shared things on her social medias that were all public, that kind of go against the whole like I'm private, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and Vicky just made a great point. Remember the whole water park talk? That is extremely public and crowded. So
right. And we have videos of them at, the fair and swimming where there was other kids and stuff. And
yeah,
I mean, if it'd be better if she had said, with COVID going on, we like to stay to ourselves, but she didn't use that excuse. So, we're just picking apart what we got to pick apart. And I do not think Candus is 100% innocent, oblivious, something's going on. Marshall Dove said Candus was not afraid to share a lot on social media, right, Amber? Yeah, like she had, when this case broke, people were screenshotting things and they still can. It's not private, And her TikTok alone, like some of it was kind of like, why are you sharing this?
And Hunter was with us.
Okay. Now, tell me about the dynamics of what everybody was doing. Who was doing what when you first got here? What happened?
I got out of the car first, and then I opened the back door because my mom's got a double door on her truck.
Right.
So I opened the back door and I let her and Hunter out.
Okay.
And Summer's first thing is to run to the water, of course.
Right.
I was like, Summer, just wait. Let me get my stuff, and I'll walk over there with you. And she waited for me, and I don't know. Hunter went off into the woods somewhere. I don't know.
Now, where was Summer sitting?
She was sitting in the middle seat.
Okay.
Hunter was sitting on the end.
Okay.
And my mom said, hold on a minute. So we waited for my mom to get out.
Okay.
And Hunter, he just done disappeared into the woods. I don't know where he went.
Okay. Okay.
And me and my mom and Summer walked over there. And we were just letting Summer play. And then Hunter eventually come back out of the woods wherever he was.
Okay.
And
so let's walk over there. Show me. And I'll just follow you, okay?
No.
So I'll follow you on which direction. And
everything's slow motion now.
I know.
So that, before Chris even gives his opinion, when she says everything's slow motion now, was interesting. I didn't really know what to make of it at the time, but Chris kind of elaborates a little bit, and I'm curious what you've kind of thought of everything slow motion right now.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think of that. I want to hear Chris's explanation again. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And then later on, she says, everywhere I look, I see her face. Yeah. To me, that was like very relatable. Like if you've lost someone and then for some reason, like that's what ends up happening. Like someone very, very close to you, like not just, cousin, distant cousin, whatever, that always stood out to me. Like almost felt like she had known that she was gone forever, but we get to that.
Right.
Okay, let's stop right there. So did you guys hear that? Did you hear what she just said? Everything is in slow motion now. Okay. Now
it's like
that tells and maybe there's a couple of psychologists out there that deal with traumatic incidents in people. That to me, when I heard that, as my experience told me, okay, there's more going on here. Okay. There's more going on here. And so I don't know what those dynamics mean. Okay, at this point, I don't think any of us do. Right. And Maureen says PTSD. Yeah. So I don't know if she's, been battling addiction problems, struggling as, a woman who is involved in, stuck in an abusive scenario. I don't know if this is trauma that she is, processing in relationship to Summer, and or something, somebody around the environment may or may not have done. I don't know those dynamics right now. What I know going down this path here is she is indicating to all of us there's a lot going on here. Okay. There is a lot going on here. Okay. And she'll keep going, Dill. So which direction does Hunter go?
He went that way.
He went that way. Now, was he in a bathing suit?
No, I think he just had his shorts and his shirt on.
Okay. And Summer, was she in her bathing suit?
Yes.
And how did she get in her bathing suit? Or...
I actually put her bathing suit on before we left home because it was really hot out that day.
Okay.
So it was just something small and thin, not so hot.
Okay. Okay.
Because I know how she gets too hot.
Okay. And what was the temperature that day? Give me an idea.
Probably in the 80s.
Okay. So it's Tennessee warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it is now.
And are you an air conditioned person, or in your mom's truck was the AC on or
I
off?
don't like AC.
Okay. Okay. So what happened? Where do you guys go, and where's Summer going here?
We all walked down this path, me, my mom, and Summer.
All right. So all three of you together.
Yeah.
Now, how does Mom's knee handle this hill here?
Well, she uses her cane, so it's a little bit easier, and she'll hold on to my shoulder so
Okay.
she doesn't fall or nothing.
So you're kind of escorting her down here.
Yeah.
And is Summer ahead of you or behind
She's
you?
right here in front of me.
Okay. So walk me through that.
Oh, we're just walking down through here. I mean, usually, like I said, we go slow because of my mom's knee.
Okay.
Myself.
Okay.
I was just standing here at the end, and then, well, the water's up a lot further than it usually is. Usually it's down. You can usually see all that wood sticking up all the water.
Okay, so let's stop there for a minute. Stop there. And so that is a memory of the event that just came back to her immediately, because it was a nondescript idea that says, and she inserted it in the conversation, that the water was lower and you could see the branches a little bit higher than they are at that time. Okay. So I think she's reliving, that moment. And
also interesting to think, how she's given those details that Chris is pointing out, but other details that are vital, she can't remember or really elaborate on, like time of day and how long it took.
Yeah. And again, just going back, like, who do you believe? Remember with the bathing suit story, we just heard Candus mention she put it on because it was something light and it was hot, as she said. But Hunter H says she took Summer into their home and put that bathing suit on her that morning. So just another little, difference in the story. But yeah, I think it's kind of selective memory. I feel like a lot of crime cases are like that people have selective memory. And I see that going on a lot with Candus.
Right, conveniently.
Mm-hmm.
And in her mind, based on what she just gave us, an indication of, her mind has slowed down a little bit more. And we see a shift in her when, as she's talking, and this is just how she is. This is her demeanor. Okay? And it helped me understand a little bit more about her by being across from her. But her demeanor really is, I'm sure she can go 150, 0 to 60 pretty quickly, like all of us can. Okay? But for Candus, her demeanor, it was quickly up here, and then she slows down. Okay? She slows down. Okay, keep going. And what time do you get here about? Do you remember?
I couldn't even tell you, to be honest with you. Time is I don't keep track of time.
No, I understand.
I mean, I get up in the morning, I do my thing with the kids, and then we go to bed.
Okay.
I can't even tell you. I know I went to the hospital at 8, took my mom, dropped her off, and I was sitting there, and Hunter called me and asked me what I was doing. I said I was sitting at the hospital.
So once again, we have her saying Hunter called her, you know, and at that point she's at the hospital. And then we have H saying, you know, a different story about how they met up that day.
Right. And that's just something that still stands out to me is, I don't know. I kind of lean towards this was a premeditated abduction. I don't know how much knowledge. I don't know. I think the parents definitely have knowledge, but I just, again, I feel like there's a reason Dawn took the Subaru. I feel like there's a reason she got H that day. That's just my opinion where I'm at right now. It could change later, but I want to know the truth, what they found in the phone data, who contacted who first, because their stories don't match on that.
Yeah, Sugar Aunt, pretty much the story's not matching. It's like you said, you think that H was picked up on purpose that day, like as an alibi people have thrown around.
Right.
And then earlier I see in chat Delana talking about she tends sometimes to lean towards something happened at the water, the pond. And it's like, I go back and forth on those two things. What you've talked about, like they arranged, you know, that everyone knew that she was going to be sold, like those close to summer. And then I go back to something happened here at the water.
Right.
But I almost feel like I got the vibe that Chris leaned towards, and I don't know because he's never like said his actual theory. But after this, almost felt like he thought something happened at the water hole too. But I don't know. I can't speak for that. And he purposely says he doesn't give his like idea yet.
Right. And again, I mean, I think anything is possible because right after this case, you know, got onto this on social media, H's sister was coming out and mentioning how Summer went underwater and everything. So, I mean, you know, I definitely think it is possible something could have happened here.
Yeah. Marshall Dove said, I think H was part of the drug connection or deal somehow. I could see that definitely being true. Something's going on.
And I just wrote, last thing I'll say real quick is I think it's interesting that H threw out a name for the drug dealer. To me, that's just, you know, he's 15. He's still a minor. Again, I know obviously Allie seemed okay that he vaped and everything like that. But I just think it's very interesting and telling that H threw out a name for the drug dealer. It's just, to me, that says a whole lot. Like he was more in the know of all that than he should have been at his age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good point.
Parking lot waiting on my mom to get done. And he said, well, why don't y'all come over? I said, well, as long as your mom says it's okay. And I guess he woke her up or said something to her, and he said, yeah, she said it's fine for a little bit. Because I guess his grandma was coming over, so she don't like her. I don't like her either.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, seems like you guys have had a falling out. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
And,
It was stupid part on Al, really, honestly.
what was it over?
Well,
thank you for joining, Shannon. Thank you for becoming a member. Sometimes I wonder, and I haven't expressed this to you, CDT, but I wonder if this whole falling out is just made up, just to distance themselves from each other.
Yeah, because remember, H was saying that Candus wanted to talk to Allie about the water park for that Friday. So
yeah, it's almost like H forgets that the things that they're trying to like change, like in the narrative, you know?
Mhm.
Because he even
Exactly.
asked her, he's like, "Didn't you guys want to talk about that thing on
Yeah, then
Friday?"
she starts fidgeting, and grandma's looking over at Allie, and she's playing with the trash on the table. So it's like, okay, if you had such a falling out, why is Allie saying she tried to invite her up to the porch? Why is
Yeah.
Candy saying she tried to get Allie to go to the truck, and H is saying she wanted to talk to her about the water park?
And remember exactly. And when H said, or she wants to asked if she could hug Summer. It's like, you wouldn't be acting that way if you guys were in some falling out, you know?
Right. Agreed.
And there was another thing I was about to say, but then just remembered that. But pretty much, yeah, it's just her. I just wonder if this whole falling out thing is just made up. Like,
Yeah.
when something happens and you're just like, maybe we need to distance ourselves, like, lay low.
Right. Exactly. Very good point. It's possible, I think. Feel the same, just like sigh. It's just so sad and weird.
Right. And there was something else that like insinuated that they were still talking. Hold on, I'll think about it.
I don't know if it was her husband. Hunter, I'm just gonna say Hunter's dad. Come out with all these guys and stuff, and we're supposed to move down here.
I remember. So, H said, when he got off the phone with Candus about, Candus said Summer's missing. And H was like, I didn't know if she was pulling my leg or not, because she tends to do that, especially when she smokes or when she gets high and drinks at the same time, blah, blah, blah. So I tried calling my mom, like he's trying to call Allie to let her know that Candus is going to call her and tell her that Summer's missing. Why would Candus be even like calling Allie? You know what I mean? And why was it like almost expected? Like H was like maybe Candus said, I'm going to call your mother, but like, I don't know. It just was like, why are they I just feel like there's probably still, their falling out is only because something that they're hiding and they're just trying to lay low.
Right. Like, just hypothetically, say this does go deeper and there are more people involved, whatever, it would make sense that they're like, okay, let's distance from each other. Just a possible scenario. And like you were saying, just the fact that they're still talking about, Allie wanted to invite Candus to the porch. Candus wanted Allie to go to the truck, the water park. It just really makes you question it.
Right. And I don't know what extent other people know or were involved in anything, but it's just very convenient. Everyone's story is just to kind of cover themselves up, like the truth, pretty much, to protect themselves. And you just wonder why, the stories don't align.
And they couldn't find a place to stay or whatever. Well, I don't really remember what this guy's name was. I know he's a Mexican, I think. And she
That Jose guy?
yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah, she wanted him to stay, and she was also staying at.
Hold on. Did she just try and act like she couldn't remember Jose's name?
Yeah, it kind of seemed like that.
I'm just going to rewind it just a tad, because I never caught that before, because like, damn well she knows that dude's name.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about Allie and hers falling out. So hold on.
Remember what this guy's name was? I know he's a Mexican, I think. Well, so she don't like him. I don't like her either.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, seems like you guys have had a falling out. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
And,
It was stupid part on Al, really, honestly.
what was it over?
Well, her don't know if it was her husband. I'm just gonna say Hunter daddy. Come out with all these guys and stuff, and we're supposed to move down here. And they couldn't find a place to stay or whatever. Well, I don't really remember what this guy's name was. I know he's a Mexican, I think. And she
That Jose guy?
yeah, she wanted,
is that right?
yeah, she wanted him to stay. And she was also staying at my house.
Okay.
So I said, well, if you're going to be with him, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. That's y'all's deal. And I don't know, they did whatever they did because I didn't really pay attention to them. I just hung out with the kids and my mom. And then one day he just goes, oh, I chicks with dicks. After him and her did whatever. And she got all pissed off and just said, hold on, take me and my kids.
I should have
back to my
bleeped that.
place. I'm
Sorry.
out of here. So I don't even know what really happened.
Okay.
She just went off the handle. And ever since that, I don't know, she's just been hateful towards me. And I don't know, I don't get it. I really wish I could understand it.
Okay.
And she stuck me with that guy. And then my husband got home. He's like, well, who's this guy, you know? And I'm like, Allie left him here, abandoned him here. I was like, he ain't got no place to go.
And even the story about this whole thing, totally different from what Dawn has said. Dawn claims she was trying to make me jealous. And here we have Candus saying, my husband came home, like, and Allie stuck me with this guy. And, you know, so she's like trying to play it off like totally different. Unless Dawn's lying about it, you know?
It's just another example of like, who do you believe kind of thing. A little bit, you know, there's a variation in their stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then my mom took him after my husband and him got into a little squirrel. My mom took him, I believe it was to North Carolina to some chick's house. And then that was the end of him. I never heard from him again.
And that, so your mom drove him up there?
Yeah, my mom did.
Okay.
And I
Okay,
never
let's
heard from
stop
the guy
there.
again.
What part of North?
So we now have confirmation that there was, you know, a gentleman by the name of Jose on the property, and that apparently Allie introduces him into the scenario, and you know, who knows what's going on there, but I'm sure, you know, the TBI and everybody will figure that piece of that puzzle out. And guys, remember, this is why there's so many moving parts. You know, you've got to sort through all of that to, you know, to get refocused on just to find Summer. Okay. Because there's so many what ifs. You know, what if this guy is now involved? So I found it interesting that Grandma takes him to North Carolina and dumps him off at a house up there and utilizes her truck to do that. Okay. I don't know who this guy was. It sounds like Dawn had a problem with it. It's
Why can't anyone get an interview with Jose?
Right. And I have to agree with Chris here, how he's saying it's interesting how grandma utilized her truck to take him all the way there. I mean, you know, that's wear and tear on your vehicle, gas money. I don't know if they ever specify what part of North Carolina, but I think he's kind of saying like it's just kind of telling how grandma physically took him to someone's house. Could he not have taken a Greyhound or a bus or
Yeah.
something?
After causing all that chaos, you know, with the police and all that, you want to drive and like, I don't know, it's strange. And the fact that they had cops called, you know, she left her daughter with this man that apparently in their police report they both claim to be afraid of.
Right. And yeah, true. She leaves him with Dawn and leaves her grandkids with Dawn and heads out with Jose. There
Yeah.
is a picture of Jose.
Yeah, Sugar Aunt. There's pictures going around and he's in one picture and you can see Grandis in the background, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. They're in the kitchen. I think Grandis is sitting, Jose is sitting, and Candus is standing near him.
That is so crazy. So And not only that, Candace's mother, I mean, Grandis hurt her knee that night. So now she's getting in the truck to go on a trip. You know,
Yeah.
that
So,
you're sitting, you're driving, you know what I mean? Your knee, I don't know. If she picked up a prescription for her knee, now she's driving. Oh wait, no, different days. But although if she was getting prescription for her knee then when the incident happened, I'm sure she had prescriptions as well, like when she drove Jose.
right. Very plausible.
So why would she have taken the time and energy to drive him?
And I think that's kind of why Chris, I think he asks where here. And then I think he also asks where another time, like where. And Candace is like, I don't know. But I think Chris McDonough is thinking the same thing, that it's odd Grandma drove him all that way. I think Chris is trying to figure out how far it was.
Right.
I think I muted myself, but yeah, I was just saying I think he's trying to figure out how far it actually was that she drove him.
And truly, even if it's just a couple hours, it's still kind of like, really? Like, but you had just hurt your knee in this whole thing that took place, and you left your daughter with this man who's apparently like not safe to be around, you know? Unless Don was in prison or jail at that point. I don't know what was going on, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it's
Sounds
all
like
odd.
Candace
Yeah.
was stuck in the middle and said, hey, get this guy out of here. I'm not sure exactly how Grandma volunteers to take him to North Carolina and drop him off at some house up there. So I think that's something, obviously, we've got to keep up on the chalkboard here in the interview room. Okay, keep going, Dill. Thank you.
North Carolina, do you know?
I don't even know.
Okay. What kind of vehicle did he have, if any?
He didn't have no vehicle.
Okay. But your mom took him
My
out?
mom took him in her truck.
Got it. Straight up. Okay. Then, so you're down here, and all of a sudden now, Summer is doing what?
Summer's just playing in the water right here.
Okay.
I'm just standing right here. All the flowers that died that were there on that.
Oh, so there were a bunch of flowers here?
A bunch of flowers right here, yeah, on this little petal. I don't know what, I guess they've all died now, but.
Okay. And where's Grandma?
Mom's standing right here.
Okay.
And I'm over here close to the edge just because Summer's in the water.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's my thing.
Okay.
And she's just playing, like a normal kid would play in the water. And then Hunter came from wherever he was and come down here and we're standing here. I want to.
Something else I noticed too in Candace's story about the swim hole, right off the bat, she said Hunter ran off into the woods. She didn't know where he went. And then she carries on her story. Once again, in this version of her story, she doesn't know where Hunter is. He went off. It's just like, really? So it's just convenient. You know what I mean? Like in case his story didn't align, or, there's just a counted time and stuff. Like, where is everybody at this point? And it would be interesting to know where everyone was. But of course, here we have Candace conveniently, Hunter ran off. She has no idea.
He was like standing here and Summer was out a little bit further far from like me and Black is.
Okay. Is that the TikTok video you took?
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see how far they were.
Yeah, I can see it, right.
And with him sitting there saying that she fell on a rock, there's no rock. Where do you see a rock?
Right. Yeah, the only rocks I saw were right over here.
And let's stop that, Bill.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. When I was there, I looked. Even before she got there, I was actually there the day before, and I looked around for those rocks, and there aren't very many rocks over there. And in this area where we were, I don't see any type of, rocks like that.
Sugar and in chat said apparently H said Grandis stayed in the truck on her phone when they were at the swim hole. Because at one point he's talking about how they were looking at flowers or something, and Candace just said they walked down there. But I wouldn't be surprised if another example, their story's not adding up.
Yeah, that's definitely something to go back and listen to, like what H says about Grandis at the swimming hole, because I don't remember either way. So that's definitely interesting.
Where she would have slipped, now certainly could they be under that water? Yeah,
It's just also convenient too, the way that Candace overemphasizes, like, she's just playing the water and I'm right here because, it's like almost the same as when she said that she walked Summer up to the door when when she wanted to go in and play in the basement. It's like, did you really walk her up to the door? Like, does Candace seem like the type of mother to do that? You know what I mean? And H said Candace was sitting there on her phone looking at TikTok videos. And now here we have Candace saying like, no, I was right here and I was watching her. It's just like, these stories aren't aligning. It's not adding up. So, and in TikTok, there is video of Summer that she posted that day, right? In the water.
Yeah, she did post Summer in the water on TikTok. You see H and it pans to like a flower. You don't see Grandis in the TikTok video.
Oh, good point. And we don't know like if that was actually taken that day, but at this point that's information law enforcement has and they'll know, but it's just very interesting, like was that really that day? And like you said, you don't see the grandmother because people are saying that she was in the truck, and then other people are speculating that she wasn't even there at the swim hole, the grandmother.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
And I'm curious what the hospital has, like in whatever time they have them picking the grandmother up and all that.
Yeah, all the surveillance that is out there. And again, I'm sure our law enforcement has looked at it, but of course, being us, we want to know more, and we're curious about that as well, because that would give so much time.
Mm-hmm. Right. And think about that. They have this information. Like they have to have CCTV footage or, something from the hospital, something from the pharmacy, all this stuff. And the fact that an arrest still hasn't been made. And like we've talked about prior live streams, obviously it'd be best if they could find Summer, to make some sort of move in the case. And hopefully they just are still diligently searching. But I haven't even heard anything of like, I know TBI had that statement a few weeks ago, but I haven't seen like search parties again go out since November. I just feel like this should be something that they're doing like monthly.
Agree. I wish that they were.
Okay.
Amber, I'll be right back.
I just saw it. No problem.
I'll let you know when I'm back. It won't be long.
Okay, no problem. I'll just continue this, guys, and pause it and whatever. And again, thank you for being here, everybody in chat.
It's possible, but I didn't see them personally. There were some down on the other side, so maybe there's something going on with that one in of itself. Okay, so much. Go ahead.
They're way over there, and I'm right here.
Okay, so this is where she is, though.
Yeah, this is where she is right here.
Okay. And how is she? What's her behavior?
jumping around, splashing, having a good
just
time,
Summer.
just like Summer would always do.
Okay.
I mean, that's how all my kids are.
Okay.
They just splash around and have a good time.
Does she go underwater at any time that you see?
Oh, she just puts her head in, but sticks it right back up. I mean, it was only up to here
So
at the time.
where did this idea of under the water, where does that come from? Okay.
That just blew my mind when I heard that. I was like, she didn't even go into, because when she was playing in the water, I was literally taking the TikTok video just to watch, you know.
So Alex said with Barry Morphew, they took a year using phone records and stuff with no body. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we have to, and it's already been 6 months. So hopefully in the next few months, something is building. And like you said, looking at other cases is a good way to kind of predict or hope for a same progression in this case. And Marshall Dove said, I am 50-50 on an abduction versus Don and Candus premeditated is both have been in the front of the camera, wasted so many times, have yet to slip up and say where Summer is, what happened, get emotional, etc. Yet, even when they're on these other live streams that we've seen on YouTube, like you said, they haven't slipped up, but I just think that they're so good at, working the system and this and that and lying and just, the criminal type behavior that they've stuck with a story. And it's almost as if they're going to like convince themselves that it's the truth. She was abducted. Somebody came up and took her. Other things they've elaborated on is she's in a dungeon in someone's basement and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my gosh, like what? I don't know. Wolfie said, I strongly feel she is somewhere less than 3 hours away from their house. Who, yeah.
Oh, and I did different things because that's how TikTok is. You can do different things with them.
Right.
And I was just taking TikTok video, and he come up out of there somewhere, and I was like, just flashed around, and then he threw up gang signs.
Do you know them?
No, I have no idea who that is. Okay. And then he started throwing up gang signs, and I'm like, so I moved it back away from him as quick as I could, and I was videoing them flowers, and then back at Summer again real quick. And then he decided to get in the water right there.
Just reading your comment, Sugar Ant. If Summer never got out of the truck, then her playing in the water was an old video and H was picked up and uploaded to TikTok like it was the same day and it was a totally different day. Right. I mean, we can go round and round with what if this was that. And remember when Candus, that Facebook picture that she uploaded before calling 911 the day Summer went missing, it showed that she uploaded a picture of the boys in his dirt bike gear, and it showed a little bit of Summer in the frame. She uploaded that and then deleted it. So like you said, we don't know if that was from that day, and we don't know if that Facebook picture was from that day and why she had removed it or what, it was supposed to allude to, but very suspicious. And law enforcement has the answers that we're going back and forth on. Like, I'm certain that they have some sort of electronic forensics at this moment. Oh, did you, Sugar Ant? You just said that? Yeah. Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
So we just don't know. Like, Original Elements said they are deep in the pain meds. That's what somebody was saying on Jonathan's channel. Someone who knew Allie was saying that the grandmother pops pain pills all the time.
Yeah.
And maybe it's for her knee. I don't know.
Right. She's just in a lot of pain.
And yeah, Donna said if you're deleting stuff when your child's missing, it's clear they're hiding something.
Yeah, because it said she updated her profile picture at 6:09 p.m. on June 15th. And then, if it was true and she had only been missing about 10 minutes. I mean, none of that adds up either way, but for her to go and delete that upload with the timestamp is very telling. There's a reason that Candus felt the need, or somebody told her to delete that.
Agree.
And he went like this with the water a couple times. I told him, please stop that. She don't like to be splashed. And so he quit, he got out. And I said, come on, son, we got to go get Grandma's prescription. And we just got back in the truck and left.
Okay, so a lot has been said about the tea thing, right? And there's Can over there and stuff. Now, I asked Hunter, and
When we come down
tell me
here,
the
this
story on
whole
that.
place was littered in trash.
Okay.
It was all trash down here. Like, them teas were
See, that sort of contradicts her saying when they first got there, like, we like to come here. It's private. Nobody ever comes down here. Now, all of a sudden, all these twisted teas and there was a whole bunch of litter and all that. It's like, just sort of a contradiction. Hi, the Irish.
all over through there, all through everywhere.
Okay.
There was flowers that my mom wanted to pick from here. I said, Mom, you better not do that. It's a state park. You get in trouble for that if you get caught.
Okay.
I'm not getting caught for that.
Okay.
So let's stop right there for a minute. So you're going to hear her tomorrow talk about those polygraph tests. So everybody just kind of slow down for a moment because you're going to hear it right from her. And we'll see, we'll see how that unfolds. But there is
Right, the Irish. When she said that when they came down there, it was filled with trash. So then you want to hang out there? Like, I don't understand. Why would you bring your kids there to swim and stuff? And then she's just like, we come down here all the time. It's filled with trash. Like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she's not picky about that, but in my opinion, it's just like not adding up. It's like, I really think all those twisted teas were from her and them.
And again, that's something else. Didn't he say, I can't remember if he verified how many the people saw Candus buy that day, but they could have had more they didn't buy that day. Again, it's just another little question.
Right, exactly. And even if it was just, that one day they had that one can or whatever, it seemed like it was something that they'd done prior. And maybe Hunter ran off into the woods because they had some stashed or something, like, I don't know. It was like their hangout spot.
definitely contention here between Allie and Candus. Okay? And Hunter, I can't say right now, what his motivations could be. I have my theories, I have my ideas. They're up on the board here. But I don't want to say, just yet, because I think we still need more information, just, as we think through this process right now. So I feel like she's got a little good flow. She's got a good flow going here, where, she's not having to pause, think, and
So Vicky said, which I thought was funny, not funny, but true comment. Have you taken a look at their yard? Candus is not picky about her surroundings. True. And then, like Chris McDonough is saying right now, she has a good flow going. I almost feel like that's because it could be because it was like planned out and rehearsed, like almost like when she's talking about when Summer gets home from swimming that day or whatever. And she's like, she jumped out like it was nothing. It's just like sometimes I feel like her flows are too rehearsed. And again, it's just like an opinion. So you really can't go, no, you wouldn't know what was really behind the way Candus is saying things. But I think it's totally plausible, like even on this pause still frame, that she's very good at kind of, charming in a way. Like I found her very like interesting to listen to and like, oh, well, she sounds like she's being truthful, like, but then when you think about her history and everything we end up finding out, like she's been kind of talking to cops like Chris for a long time, or, you know, having to deal with CPS and stuff like that. Like she's had to like kind of portray this charming personality more than once, pretty much, like not just on this camera.
And, you know, kind of, you know, not be spontaneous. I'm feeling that she's feeling comfortable, and that, you know, some of the things she's telling us are truthful. You know, and so, and then other things, you know, I'll reserve judgment on. But right now, what I'm hearing her say, you know, I don't have any evidence that points that she's not, you know, laying it out there. You know what I mean? She has, you know, some long gaps. She, you know, she's rethinking, she's processing. But you're going to see, I'm going to hit her with a couple of very interesting, you know, questions, and then you see a demeanor change. But what I saw being so close to her, there was an emotional response as well. And, you know, that can go either way, right? I mean, this is not a controlled environment where, you know, you can lean over and, you know, talk to people a little bit more intimately. I mean, here we've got the water, we've got the wind, we got a lot of moving dynamics or moving parts here. But I wanted her to feel comfortable, in which she did, and, you know, kind of laying it out. So keep moving.
Walked on back to the truck, but I don't know where that iced tea coming from. I know that I did buy an iced tea
Okay.
from the smoke shop in town, but I bought that iced tea from my mother.
Okay. Okay.
And if she was here today, she would tell you that.
Right. Right.
And the vapes that I bought were nicotine vapes from the hippie house.
Next door.
Right, next door.
Okay.
Well, no, they're kind of, one's further down by the mall. The smoke shop's further down.
See all this, like the stories about the vapes, and it does sound believable. It does sound factual, but that doesn't really matter because all that took place before they even get to the swimming hole. So whatever happened from this point on, you know, she's talking about earlier, like events earlier that day, like, and like Chris said, like things are flowing nicely. She's not really having large gaps, blah, blah, blah. But this, all those details is earlier than the swimming hole. So it could actually sound truthful because it is, but we want to know what happens after that point. Like when that picture is taken and when they drop H off, you know, all that kind of falls apart and doesn't align with other people's accounts of that day either.
Agree. And I think it's just interesting how she says, you know, I got that from my mother. If she was here, she would tell you that. It's like, well, why is Grandis not backing up Candus and being like, we want our summer back. We want my, you know, I want my granddaughter back. She's just been silent.
Exactly. And it's like the Brian Laundrie family, when they were silent, everyone felt like it spoke volumes. I feel the same way about grandmother's silence.
Yeah.
And Marshall Dove said, there are literally no facts in this sad story, all stories that do not corroborate. I am putting together what I think is true. Do we have any real facts? And the only, you know, some of the only real facts we have is that dispatch call.
Yep.
About the 911 call. So it's the dispatch after the 911 call was made. And it said that she was last seen walking outside and the mother went for a run. So even the stuff that you might quote unquote say, yeah, this is factual. I mean, you should be able to rely on dispatch. Doesn't add up. So even the factual stuff, we can't even say, we haven't had like confirmation or an explanation on that.
I got the IC. And the hippie house is just right over here before you cross over the bridge.
Got it. Okay. So the smoke shop where you bought the
We went to the hospital,
right,
and picked up my mom,
right,
and then we stopped at the smoke shop and I got mom that twisted tea that she wanted. And then I stopped at the hippie house and got me some smoked nicotine vapes, is what I got.
Okay. What flavor?
I think they were Skittles.
Okay.
Because that's kind of like.
Do they have like a different taste
They
flavor?
actually taste like Skittles.
Okay.
It's the only kind I'll buy.
Okay.
And then we left from there and we went straight down to Walgreens and went to the drive-thru. But after we were done at the hippie house, I think we bought 3 of them, I think, to believe. And I set them right there on the council. And he asked for one. I said, no, you can't have none.
Did he take one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honest to God, I don't know.
Okay.
But then we went to the Walgreens and dropped off mom's prescription. I said, well, if we got to wait 30 minutes, why don't we just bring Summer down here and let her play for a little bit?
Okay.
And that's what we did.
Okay.
I mean, there was nothing. I honestly didn't see him drink nothing down here. I don't know what he's talking about. I really don't.
All right. So it's your word against his, basically.
Pretty much.
Okay. On this scenario right
Yes.
here. Okay. So from here, where do you
Okay,
guys
stop.
Walgreens, you pick up my mom.
Okay, there you heard it. So we've got he said, she said on both sides of the coin. Okay. One of the disastrous concepts in an investigation, right? Those poor guys and gals who are working so diligently on this, I'm sure, have a little bit more information relationship to sort through that as a whole. And before I forget, everybody, just real fast, I want to thank everybody for being here and supporting us here at the interview room. I was so grateful for your kindness and all the the consideration that's been coming here tonight. I apologize. I haven't been able to acknowledge everybody right off the bat, but.
I think I got me and Mom a grape.
Is that your favorite?
Not my mom.
Is that your favorite?
We're going back to your house.
Okay.
And I took him back to his house and dropped him off and left. And Summer was still awake when I left his house.
Okay. Okay.
And Allie did never walk to the truck and try to talk to me or something.
Okay.
So, like you've pointed out numerous times, we have Candus saying that Summer was awake. Everyone else, well, actually, no, H couldn't remember if she was or not. But Allie insists that she was asleep and she had asked to hug her, but she was sleeping. So it's just.
And with that whole thing, I know the video I made, like, who do you believe? They're like, well, I don't believe any of them. And I understand that. But at the same time, like, if it is true that Candus dropped off Summer, regardless if Allie went to the truck or not, H was in the truck allegedly. But, Summer was either awake or asleep, or I know some people think there was more going on. But it's just like, once again, I think it was Marshall Dove said, like, what facts do we have? We don't. But yeah, it's like either Summer, if she made it home, I think Summer made it home. That's my opinion. But yeah, at some point, Summer fell asleep or, was whatever, not awake in the back of that car or truck. And it's like, when did that happen?
Right. And how can they, and when people say, oh, I'm not going to believe any of them, which actually could be the truth. But like you said, Summer was either awake or asleep when H was dropped off because,
right.
And
Marshall Dove, yeah. And that's the thing through that interview, H was trying to say, in my opinion, that he believes Summer was awake. And he even says he thought Summer got out of the car. Grandma points, it says, no, you did. And he's like, oh, I don't remember. I thought she was awake. But it seemed like Allie wanted the narrative to be that Summer was asleep at that drop off for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get her to come over and talk to me, but she wouldn't.
Okay. Where does she, from here, when you left here, okay, and you went to Sonic, like you mentioned, what flavors do you buy? Do you remember?
I think I got me and Mama grape.
Is that your favorite?
Not my mom.
Is that your favorite?
That's my favorite. I don't remember what Mom got. She got it's like a cool water or something like that.
Okay.
And then Hunter, I think, wanted the blue one. I think.
Okay. Is that the slushy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slushies. I don't really.
Did you buy food?
Nope.
Just the slushies.
Just the slushies.
Okay. Then what happened?
And then we left from there, went to Priceless, and I wasn't even in there 5 minutes.
Okay.
Grabbed my milk, come right back out the door, and he was sitting there playing on TikTok like he always does.
Okay.
I mean, and then for him to sit there and say that he doesn't even make TikToks, I have on my phone personally, I can show you where he's made TikToks.
Okay.
Honest God.
I hope you've given it to the officials, right?
No, actually, it's still on my phone. I haven't had a chance because I was going to talk to them Tuesday when I went back to town.
Okay. Got it.
Just the way, and I know we've talked about this before, but just the way she kind of like argues about things that H has said, like it's almost like she's talking as if like her and H are like equal, like age and like IQ and experience and like life levels. You know what I mean? Like the way she's all like, it's almost like she's like 15 also.
Yeah.
And why so bent out of shape about him lying about the TikToks? Like I get it, but at the same time, it's like, it's just very immature. The first time I seen this, I was like, wow, that's very like petty for her to be, just the way she was acting. I'm like, I feel like she's almost like acting as if like they're peers.
Right. I see where you're going with that. And Marshall Dub has another good point. There is another discrepancy with how long Grandma and Candus were in the grocery store. She says, not long, 5 minutes. He says maybe, like for an hour, I think he even says. So again, time discrepancy there. Big time discrepancy.
And the time discrepancy is no bueno. Like when we're trying to put together the timeline, everyone has no idea what time it is there pretty much. Hi, Brooks. Thanks for being here. She said, surprise, Amber. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I got some business I got to take care of.
Roger that.
Were you going to say something?
I was going to say, did you see Michelle gave you a super chat? So thank you, Michelle.
I didn't. Thank you, Michelle.
She did the flying thing. I love that.
Oh, it's because I'm in StreamYard. So for some reason, those don't like show up. But let me see. Thank you so much. But again, like while I have this paused, I'm curious if law enforcement is going to feel like pressure to make like more statements like frequently, because I just feel like with talk of people going down there again, because like the last time they went down there, YouTubers like went to the police station and stuff. So I'm wondering if they're like, if they feel any pressure by any of that at all, or if it's just like, oh, well, we're just going to ignore the public and do our thing and give the update when we feel the need to. Hard to say.
So from there, you go back to Hunter's house.
I dropped him off.
Explain the milk. The picture of
it was sitting right there beside Summer.
Okay.
Because when I handed it to Hunter in the car, he was on the outside. Oh. I said, Hunter, put this on the other side of Summer. I just set it over there.
Okay.
And she was wide awake sitting up.
Okay.
Like she didn't go to sleep until after we left town.
Did she change clothes?
Yeah, I changed the clothes because when I have the windows down, it could be 100 degrees. I'll have all the windows up. Roll up the window, mommy, I'm cold. And she not be cold, but I still do it.
Is that part of Summer's
personality? That's just Summer.
Tell me about Summer. I want to know about Summer.
She's a happy little girl.
Okay.
She's the best little girl.
Okay, let's stop.
Just like.
Okay, guys. So this is important here, where what I've done here is I've personalized her baby. Okay? And I want you to pay very close attention to how not only she responds, but how she starts to, her emotion, and I'm probably what, maybe 2.5 feet in front of her. Okay. And I was paying very close attention to watching how, emotionally she was going to either deflect, internalize, or, process is what, some of the 3 ideas here. So watch her demeanor, and, don't slam it either way, plus or minus. Just pay attention to her demeanor tonight, because tomorrow you may have a shift of thought process. Okay. So go ahead, Dill. Thank you. Keep playing.
So I don't really want to say her name.
Yeah, don't say her name.
But, happy-go-lucky. Nothing ever brings her down hardly.
Mm-hmm. Today's a tough day for you, I can tell.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's been tough lately.
Tell me about that.
Every time I look around, I see her face.
Okay.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
Well, help me.
And again, I'm just going to relate that one phrase to just personal experience when my dad passed, and it was like sudden. And when, for some reason, for months and months, everywhere I went, like even when I was at work, I would see somebody that looked like him, and like I would do a double take, and it was just like I couldn't understand, like, why is this happening? But like it doesn't happen anymore. So when she had said that, it brought me back to like early days, like when I was grieving, and I felt like, oh my gosh, does she know 100% that like she's passed away too? That was just my own personal kind of connection to that phrase. Everywhere I look, I see her face. And it could mean totally different to other people, but that's just how I took it. Like the first time I had seen this I don't even know if this was 4 months ago, I think 3 or 4 months ago when this aired, but it just took me back to that. So I don't know. Maybe it's nothing, but that I just wanted to say my experience, and like with that phrase, everywhere I look, I see her face.
I understand when you went home. Tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much. Trees, flowers, rock. Whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talked about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch that moment.
Okay.
It was just things I do.
Right.
And I was like, here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture. And then she accidentally hit the video record.
Okay.
Instead of the picture part.
Okay.
So like, did you catch it? She like, no, I accidentally hit the video part.
That's what you get for handing grandma the camera.
Yeah. Well, I was driving though.
Okay.
And I was like, did you put her arm back down? She's like, yeah. I was like, dang. And then she got a picture of her, but by that time her arm was down. But her arm was up most of the time like this.
Right.
And we were like 2 minutes from the house when she took her arm down.
Okay.
And then when we got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car.
Okay, let's stop.
We went and grabbed the boys from the house and come help.
Okay, that's a spontaneous statement. We pulled up, I got out, unlocked the gate, because they have a chain across their end of their driveway. Okay. We pulled up, I got out, unbuckled her because she was seat belted in. Two ideas to consider. When we pulled up, there was that chain across the driveway. You literally have to stop, get out. She has a key. You have to unchain it or unlock it, and then she threw it to the side, gave me a thumbs.
So besides the fact that it's interesting that they have their driveway like chained like that, the other thing that kind of stood out to me is her explaining that when they got home, she unbuckled Summer. And other people have argued that they didn't believe that Candus was the type to, like, unbuckle and help her child out. Other people said it just sounded off. Like, in my opinion, it was kind of, I didn't feel like that part was like truthful. I didn't know, just my opinion and feeling of it. But it's interesting in the picture with the milk. Summers got her seatbelt like tucked behind her, like, so she's wearing it, but the shoulder part, like a lot of kids do, and I used to do as a kid, you like take it off and like move it behind you,
Mm-hmm.
So obviously she's capable of getting in and buckling herself and getting adjusted comfortably if she did that herself, which in Candace's story she did. But now all of a sudden they get home and Candace is saying she helped get her out and unbuckled.
Yeah.
And Mike Drop and Mama said added details are usually added for a reason. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
Candace, I didn't pick up on it the first few times listening to her, but I realize a lot now with this Chris McDonough interviews. She does kind of fluff up things.
And I can't, who asked, was she, the Pink Dahlia said, is she buckled in the photo? I'm looking at it now. You can see the strap going around Summer's waist, but the shoulder strap is behind Summer in the photo.
And Alex Erickson said, I agree. At 5, Bentley does it himself if he's in the booster, but still. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just don't believe, I don't know. It's just that whole drop off with Hunter after that. I'm not sure I believe Candace's story.
Right. Yeah, and then allegedly they get home at 3:30. Not boys, I'm sorry, but 911 call around 6:30. And so again, what have the boys said? What have they seen? All that is important. And again, they're minors, but
Yeah. I figure I'll go for a little bit longer, like 10 more minutes. And then, because I didn't even finish any rewatching this, like when I was rewatching it. So I feel like it would be good if we did part 2 and then it'd be like a reaction again, like fresh live, like because I watched a little bit of this before I even went live with you. So I just wanted to get like your input too.
Yeah.
So I'll play it a little bit and then I like to keep things kind of under 2 hours. So
up, walked around, got in her car, and went up this driveway. And let me tell you something about this driveway. I had to put my truck in 4-wheel drive to get up this thing. So that was one thing I will tell you right up front, that if there is a stranger abduction in this thing, and there was a car utilized, that guy or gal or person did not go up that driveway. I can assure you of that. Okay? But when I did get up there were a lot of dogs, and you're going to see that tomorrow in the video. Okay. And I'll let you count the dogs. I asked her how many dogs there were, and she started laughing. And she said, people just come by and drop the dogs off in the woods, and they all end up at her house. And so what was interesting, the other side of that is, as we were coming up the driveway, dogs were coming out of the woods. Okay. And anybody that knows my sweet Karen, she was like, there's a lot of dogs here. I'm pretty nervous because she only loves Buddy. She doesn't two-time anybody. So, so her dog, her fur baby. Okay. So I just wanted to point that out because when you see tomorrow, as we go up the driveway, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay. Dill, thank you. Keep moving.
Help us with the groceries.
Yep.
Because I always have them come help me do something.
And now, who was home when you got home?
My 3 sons.
Okay. And how old's your oldest?
He'll be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really. They were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just going to run out for a second.
Hey,
and
stop.
We never even planned. I didn't even plan for Hunter to even be with me.
Okay, that made no sense to me. They were watching TV and sleeping at the same time. So what I think, she was processing is she left them by themselves at the house. And so she thinks they were watching TV and she thinks they were sleeping. So I didn't want to qualify that in terms of when you left, were they sleeping or were they watching TV? So what she did is combine the two spontaneously. So we'll see how that's going to work out. But I think in her mind, she's telling it the way.
Sorry, I thought he was done, but I was just going to throw out, listen to how she also says, I didn't plan for H to be with us that day. It's almost like, again, unnecessary information. Like, did you plan for it? I don't know. Just seemed out of the...
Right. It's like, hold on, let me replay that because you're absolutely right. It sort of like stuck out. It was like random.
Yeah.
Sleeping. So I didn't want to. She only loves Buddy. And let me tell you.
Okay. Well, like, did you catch it? She like, no, actually, ain't the video part.
That's what you get for handing grandma the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did I go back too far?
I think a little bit, yeah.
That guy or gal or person did not go.
They were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just gonna run out for a second. And
stop.
we never even planned. I didn't even plan for Hunter to even be with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One more thing. Random. She says we and then I. She said I didn't even plan. So again, the we could be the grandma and Summer, but interesting. She says we, then changes it to I.
And she sort of like scratched her face. And of course, that could mean nothing. But sometimes if people are put on the spot, they'll touch their face. I want to see that again. And like you said, like they're talking about the boys. All of a sudden, she brings up H again.
She only loves Buddy. She doesn't. She doesn't.
Again with that.
Yeah.
Were they sleeping or were they watching TV?
He'll be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really. They were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just gonna run out for a second. And
stop.
We never even planned. I didn't even plan for Hunter to even be with.
Okay, that made no sense to me. They were watching TV and sleeping at the same time. So what I think, she was processing is.
Yeah, that's really interesting, Kelly. I feel like that's a good mark to kind of leave it at. Why did she have to reiterate that H wasn't even in the plans that day?
Right. Yeah.
And we're talking about the boys at that moment. What,
Yeah.
And since you're pointing that out, if we're going back to a theory that H was just an alibi, it's interesting. We're talking about the boys and she's got to, explain again. I didn't even plan on picking up H that day. So why is she adding that in? Is it because it was planned? You know what I mean? And she's just saying the opposite.
Mm-hmm. And again, I think, by now they know who initiated the contact. They know, how much contact was going on previously to the day Summer disappeared. But we just have to wait and see if it'll ever all come out,
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like that's a good, D. Irish said it was all a plan, in my opinion.
Yeah. Look at the Pink Dahlia's comment. Because remember on Molly Go Lightly, neither one knew Summer's birthday.
I find that interesting. She knows her son's birthday and exact age, but didn't know Summer's birthday and have an old picture to law enforcement. Just my opinion. Oh, that is interesting because if you're going to go with a plan and, it's sad, but people have sold their children before.
Right.
And
yeah, they have.
We have the rumor, whatever, that Summer wasn't even wanted and that Candus was going to adopt her.
Yeah.
So, it's obviously speculation and we don't know for sure, but it's very interesting.
I agree. It's just something to think about.
Right. and everything's on the table still. So, but I really did appreciate Chris going back through and giving his input, and I'd love to finish this in a future date with you and chat. And
Yeah.
it's really not that much longer. Like as I'm looking, it'll be like just enough time for like a nice live stream again.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, that's pretty much it, everybody. Thank you to my mods and thank you for being here, Kelly. And
Yeah.
um I have no plans for another live stream um as far as like a date that I know of, but check our community pages and all that, and check out CDT's channel, which I will link in the description right now and add it in chat. And yeah, anything else you wanted to add about anything?
Someone just said that they had heard Dawn didn't know the birthday, but when did Candus not know it? It was on a stream that Molly Golightly did, I'd say at least a month or so ago. She's on the phone with Dawn, asks him about the birthday. He doesn't know, and you hear him asking Candus, and she doesn't know either. And again, I mean, does that make him guilty? No, but it's just noteworthy, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
So
Definitely noteworthy because first off, your child's missing. Aren't you
yeah.
kind of telling everybody and anybody you can, like, her height and weight and all that? Like, you don't know her birthday?
Yeah, and I mean, my kids know their birthdays, and my daughter is around Summer's age. And again, I just feel like it's an important detail that you could tell people when your child's missing. It's important to know that.
Yeah.
Is all.
Especially because if she's missing, you're hoping that in the future at some point she'll be able to come back to you.
Yeah.
And we don't know how long it takes, but other parents who have had their child missing will say, my child has been missing since 2021, but she was born on 2000 or, blah, 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 blah. Like that's an important thing because if you're like the Rose Bly case, they have pictures that law enforcement has like put together to give you an idea of what she might look like aged more.
Right.
Composite photos or whatever. So the age and the year that they're born is sort of important. If you're in hopes of always having your child talked about, and they portray it on their YouTube and website that they want everyone to keep talking about Summer and get her face and name out there, and they want her back home, but you don't know the date. This is going to be something that you should always have out there because you want her to come back home, and you're going to need to tell people it's been 10 years. She might look different. She was born in this date, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I just think it's all just so sad.
Yeah. It seems.
Yeah. I don't know. The way I took it, she was asked by Dawn. She didn't know at that moment. That's just how I take it. Again, everyone can make, their own opinion on why she didn't know. Does she really know and just didn't know in that moment? Was she under the influence? Whatever. But for me, the bottom line is they have a missing child and their behavior is just absolutely disgusting to me. And I think their behavior as parents also was gross and negligent. So
yeah,
that's just my feelings. So, but everyone's entitled to their own opinions.
Yep. And yeah, unfortunately, there are bad mothers out there and people who, children who are unwanted.
Right, exactly.
But again, thank you, everyone. And thank you, CDT. And we will all talk soon. And hopefully we get some more answers as the days go on.
Yeah, definitely.
So bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, Amber. Bye, chat.